Can you guys talk about the importance of knocking down the silos? Silos aren't for selling subscriptions, platforms are. And maybe talk about how the evolution within this pandemic has changed the relationship between the back office and the front office. Whoever wants to take it.
We've spent lots of time working with our clients around the fact that the processes in your back office are how you fulfill the promises that you make in the front office. And I think the pandemic, more than anything, has just kind of rubbed raw the view into those processes. And if those processes aren't good, right, you feel it. And you especially feel it when you don't have a whole bunch of contact center agents in one room trying to solve problems when they're distributed, or you're trying to make all these experiences self-service for your clients because the volumes are just increasing so much. You've got to have automation in those processes that connect front to back if you actually want to be able to get the things done that your clients want to get done.
If you're a company that employs 100 people or 1,000 people, why would you willingly suggest that 700, 600, 500 weren't directly related to serving your paying customers? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So to me, it's about what is the work that inherently connects people to serving customers. Focus on giving them ways to build that work into a seamless collaboration, and then let them be effective there. And then, to the extent that they're doing other kinds of work that you can't claim is differentiating for your company because it doesn't actually help anybody, doesn't serve a customer, it doesn't help a colleague, that's where you figure out a way to automate it. So I think that's been constant, and I'm likewise with Don happy that this is clarified what should have been a long-standing understanding.
People are in business to conduct business. And that means managing their books. That means serving their customers. That means working with their employees, all of that, right? So they see that whole thing as a unified whole. And I think it's the technology that's put that into buckets, because I don't think a business person really thinks about it that way. They're running their business. So the first fix on this has been, or at least the first generation of fixes, has been to integrate these, bring this information together. I can see my invoice when I'm sitting in my CRM, et cetera, et cetera. Bring the stuff contextually when you need it, when you're solving that job. That itself is a big ask. Companies like us and others have done a pretty good job of that. I think the next step is perhaps what Don was talking about here too. It is to do with orchestrating everything around the work itself. So define the work process, what people get done in their work, and then the applications fit right in, whether they're front office or back office, to execute that overall plan. And that's, I think, where a lot of this technology will go.
The silo between front office and back office is sort of the next phase. It seems like we spent a lot of time with the marketing and sales thing over the last 20 years, and then sales and service, and then maybe some service and marketing connection. But the front office to back office, as I've been talking to customers, that's where the biggest Franken system exists right now. It's combinations of consultants and custom code and multiple platforms. And so I think it's going to be really interesting to bring that together. The best place to think about that is the buying experience for a buyer. How can you pull a lot of that forward? And again, think about the work as a few of you mentioned. So if you think about the ideal sale, should you have to go through the back office hoops, or should the customer be exposed to that? Probably not. So it feels like a pretty big frontier to be focused on. I think a lot of us are probably thinking in that same way now.
If your transformation is entirely focused on the front office and you don't fix your back office, you actually don't transform anything. The only thing you do is connect your customers to crappy experiences faster. That's all you've done, right? So they have to go hand in hand. And the clients that we've worked with that have been really smart about this, I think about organizations like Lloyd's Bank that have realized that they actually have to fix their internal processes that follow on from that onboarding experience or that servicing experience before they even think about the digital front end, because they need a good process to wrap a digital front end around, not the other way.
It's the whole company that has to change in order to really make customer engagement work. It's no longer a marketing or whatever problem. It's across the board.
In the glory days of Ritz-Carlton, they had like a provision that any person who worked in a Ritz-Carlton hotel, it didn't matter what job you had, could authorize a certain amount in order to improve a customer's experience. So you could write off someone's room service meal. You could comp somebody a night if you found that they were unsatisfied. And, you know, to me, that's like perfection, right? Where everybody feels empowered that they have a role to play and make customer experience great. And how can businesses think culturally in terms of cultural transformation, where everybody's going to have equal ownership in what paying customers feel?